We'll start at Anfield. Liverpool made it back-to-back wins for the first time since September with a dominant 1-0 win over Real Madrid on a miserable return to Merseyside for former defender Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was booed by the Liverpool fans as Mac Allister scored the winner against the 15-time European champions.
Let's be clear, we had a very bad run of form in terms of results. No excuse in the world can make up for us losing so many games. But we had to play a lot of games in a small amount of time. We have not hardly any rest in between when we then faced a team that had a lot of rest. Tonight we played against a team that played on Saturday as well, so the both of us had 2 days rest. Then it's helpful to play in a home game, because from the last 8 I think we played 6 away from home. So the fans can give you just a little bit of an extra edge if you are maybe a little bit tired.
Jamie O'Hara, good morning. Right,
Morning.
2 wins in 4 days. They could have scored more last night against Real Madrid, so are they back?
Did they ever go? You know, I think Liverpool have had, you know, trying to find their feet with the new team. I would say the form's back for sure, but the players are still there. You know, last night, what I've seen over the last couple of games, Aston Villa, last night against Real Madrid, they were fantastic. It was a bit of the old Liverpool, you know, more resilient at the back. Robertson back in there. You know, Conor Bradley, who was absolutely outstanding last night against Vinícius Jr. And a bit more of a team where I thought this is what Liverpool are about, playing on the front foot, energy in midfield. And I think the issue that they've had, and he'll probably sit there and kick himself, Arne Slot, is the fact that them 4 games that they lost and they was on a terrible run he was just trying to fit everyone in. He was trying to play everyone in, you know, trying to get Isak, Frimpong, Kirkes playing. And I think he got it wrong. And I think he's had to take a step back and go, I need to go back to what I know, what I trusted last season, what won me the league. And I think that's kind of what he's done with, you know, Conor Bradley and Robertson back in there. And I think it's made a big difference.
This time last week, there was a lot of criticism that maybe he didn't care about the Carabao Cup when he changed everybody pretty much. Played a very young team, very young bench against Crystal Palace, and they went out. Has he been vindicated? Because since then, they've played 2-1-2. Yeah,
I think if you're going to look... he'd still be disappointed that they go out of competitions. I think, you know, fans, players want to be in all competitions because it's games and it's chances to play. But I think if you're looking at it and, you know, the week that they've got coming up, they've got Man City, right, the weekend?
Away.
So, you know, it's probably one of the biggest weeks that they'll have this season. And, you know, that Carabao Cup game, he made the decision that he didn't want to risk any of his top players. And you'd have to say, on the face of it, he's been right, because they beat Aston Villa, good performance, put in an amazing performance against Real Madrid. You know, and all of a sudden he looks like he's found a team where it feels settled, and it feels like the Liverpool side that I've watched before last season.
It was a clean sheet for Virgil van Dijk, and he responded to some criticism. He's been getting some criticism about his leadership from Wayne Rooney. Not sure if you saw a kind of quite awkward exchange after the game.
I heard about it.
He was stood next to Wayne Rooney on the TV. And Van Dijk, we can actually give you the quotes from Van Dijk. He said, "It would be good if ex-players that played at the highest level, that dealt with difficult moments as well, would put things in perspective. I think if you would watch games, then I would definitely take the responsibility. I think the comment that I signed my new deal and then it's like, that's it, and I let things slide, I think that's a bit... But that is just my personal opinion." OK, so Rooney had criticised Van Dijk. Van Dijk has hit back. Good time to do it after a clean sheet and a win against Real Madrid, of course. But have you ever been in that situation, either as a pundit or as a player? Have you been on both sides even?
I've been on both sides. And look, I've dug players out as a pundit, and, you know, you look back and go, maybe it was a bit harsh, you know, your emotions get the better of you, but you're also paid to give an opinion, you know, and you can't be positive all the time. There's going to be negatives to certain things. I've had it as a player as well. I remember Paul Merson absolutely slaughtered me on Sky. You know, you know what Jamie Carragher does now to do the analysis at half-time? Paul Merson was there. I had the little ring round me.
Who were you playing for then?
I think I was at Wolves. I was at Wolves, and Paul Merson said I was lazy. I weren't tracking back. I was costing the team. He was 100% right. He was 100% right. I was having a stinker, but, you know, I was obviously that was on Sky. It was a TV game, and I was at that. And I thought, he's absolutely slaughtered me there. But you have to take it on the chin. When I see him, I was like, oi, You dug me out. But it is what it is, you know. You got to give an opinion. When I'm a pundit, sometimes I go too far and you sit and go, got that one wrong. You're not going to get everything right. You're not going to get everything right when you sit here and have an opinion. And I always try and use, as you know, Wayne Rooney probably is the same. You use your experience of being a player. I didn't play at the level Wayne Rooney did, but being a player, being in the dressing room, being around first team, being around stars, being in big moments, playing at Anfield and Old Trafford. So you try and use your experience of how you felt and how you dealt with things and what you think is right and wrong. And you try and give that a fair argument. Sometimes you get it wrong, sometimes you get it right.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was heavily booed on his
return.
hold
it against Paul Merson, though.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I'll get him one day.
But here's what both managers said about Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Afterwards, I gave him a hug. I don't even exactly know what I said, but probably not a lot. But every time I will meet him, I will either give him a hug or talk to him, because he's been very special to me as a player and as a human being.
Typical atmosphere around feeling a Champions League game against top classic game in European football, and we needed his quality, we needed his, his threat from the wing. It could be expected, professional, mature. He was ready for that, so no problem.
Right. We knew the reception that he was going to get, because yesterday we were talking about all the Liverpool fans, and they all said, as much as they appreciate what he did for Liverpool, they're not happy with him. So he was named on the bench. Were you surprised that he was brought on?
Yeah, I was a bit. I think Alonso fed him to the wolves a little bit. You know, he'd come on in a moment where really Liverpool were well and truly on top. You can bring him on to try and change a game, but he was getting so heavily booed, it was almost impossible for him to even really concentrate on the game. And you felt when he got the ball, it was a bit tentative. He didn't want to give it away. He didn't want to get too involved. He didn't want to go in for a late tackle. You know, you could see it in him, and it's going to affect him. He's a young lad, and, he's going back to his boyhood club and getting that sort of reception. I thought Alonso could have protected him a little bit. I don't know if he needed to put Trent on last night. I think it was maybe one of them ones where you go, you know what, it's probably not the moment to use him, because Real Madrid were in a bad spot. Liverpool were overrunning them all over the park. I was disappointed in a lot of Liverpool fans, the way they booed him. The whole ground booed him. Now, I understand they're unhappy. I get it, and they've not been happy about how he left and how they thought he left. But Real Madrid, 9 out of 10 players would leave to go and sign for Real Madrid. That's an absolute fact. Everyone's singing Conor Bradley's name, and I get, Conor Bradley's a brilliant player. If Real Madrid come calling, Conor Bradley would probably want to go and play for Real Madrid. But it's Real Madrid. Liverpool are a huge football club, and I totally get it. But to boo a player who won everything for your football club in that manner, it was almost nasty how they were booing him. And this guy, he won everything for Liverpool. He's a Liverpool legend. I don't care what anyone says, he's a Liverpool legend. You got him for nothing. He come through your youth academy, you can say, we developed him and we done this. Yeah, he also developed himself. He was always going to be a top player because he was talented. And he gave Liverpool unbelievable moments, and you got him for nothing. And he left for nothing. But you paid 80 million, 70 million pounds for Van Dijk, for 70 million pounds for Alisson. You got Trent for nothing. And he's left for nothing. I don't understand the booing and the whole thing about, we're giving him this stick and booing him like that. I thought it was harsh. You never walk alone. That's what they're saying every week. He's a Liverpool boy.
I want you to get involved in the debate. Let's bring in a Liverpool fan now. Sky Sports have partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. If you want to represent your club, you can go to the Sky Sports app for more details. Let's speak to Liverpool supporter Peter Bolston. Now, Peter, you'll have been hearing there what Jamie was saying about Trent Alexander-Arnold and his reception when he went back to Anfield. And Jude Bellingham says that the booing isn't a true reflection of what the fans were thinking. It was just about putting him off and giving the Liverpool team a bit more help. What do you make of that?
Absolute nonsense from Jude Bellingham. It's a bit embarrassing as well that it's like he's acting like Trent's mum, coming out and trying to protect him all the time. So, no, absolute nonsense. I was there, and I'll tell you what the Liverpool fans were like, and it was exactly what Jamie O'Hara's just said. It was nasty. There was venom in it, and he found out exactly how all Liverpool fans were feeling. This wasn't a bunch of idiots on the internet. This was 60,000 Liverpool fans making sure that he knows that his legacy has completely been ruined. It doesn't matter what he's done in the Liverpool shirt, and I think we need to point out as well, and we're acting like he done us a favour. He got paid to play for Liverpool, you know, and it's something that we would all love to do. I think it's not because he left Liverpool, it's because of how he left Liverpool. And there was a point in that booing last night that I was thinking that in 10 years' time when I'm reading his book, I hope that he reflects and maybe regrets not so much that he's left Liverpool, but how he left Liverpool. That's the problem for me. A normal lad from Liverpool, a celebrity now, that's the detachment. It's a transfer from a footballer to a celebrity. He's completely misjudged the whole situation, and how he left over an 18-month period is the biggest problem.
Look, I've had this argument a million times. You talk about his legacy, he's ruined his legacy. How can you say that? I mean, the moments that he give you as a football player, the things he's won there, 2 Premier League titles, Champions League, Carabao Cup, Club World Cup, FA Cup. I mean, the guy's won the lot. You talk about his legacy. He left to go to Real Madrid. You know, you talk about an 18-month...
He gaslit the fans, Jamie. He gaslit the fans. He was doing this as celebrations. He was making statements and making insinuations that he was going to maybe possibly sign a new contract. He knew exactly what he was doing.
You didn't pay him enough money.
We didn't pay him enough money. I don't think any money was going to keep him in the world. I think
you don't know that. Give him an offer he can't refuse.
I think that he was so fluent in Spanish for such a long time shows you that he left.
Is he not allowed to learn another language? You know, no. Like he's got to have his options open. He's a young lad. If you don't give him a deal, if you ain't offered him a contract that he thinks that he's worth, then he's in his right mind to leave. Luis Diaz left. You got money for him because you weren't paying him
Do you think
enough.
he left because of a contract?
You didn't
Do you
pay
think
him.
he left because of a contract problem?
No, I think there was.
No, I'm asking you a question.
I think there was a few elements why he left. One, it's Real Madrid. They're one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in the world. He done everything and won everything he could possibly win at Liverpool Football Club. He might have wanted a new challenge. They're human beings. People are entitled to a new challenge. And 2, you didn't pay him enough. You didn't give him an offer he couldn't refuse. If you really wanted to keep him, you would have given him an offer he wouldn't refuse.
Trent was on one of the biggest earners at Liverpool Football Club, right? So let's get that straight. Second of all, when you sign for Real Madrid, you normally take a pay cut. So that's another element of this, which isn't completely true.
That's not true.
It is for players like Trent Alexander-Arnold. It really is. And another thing is that's fine if you leave Liverpool. It's absolutely fine. No Liverpool player or former Liverpool player comes back to Anfield and gets booed. Let's get that thing straight as well. That doesn't happen. Liverpool fans are one of the only fans in the whole world that welcome ex-players back all the time. You see them in the main stand. They're there week in, week out. This is completely different, and the wider media have misjudged it because they don't know exactly what's gone on. It's the fact that he gaslit the fans.
But you don't know what's gone on either. You don't know what's gone on with the conversations he's had at Liverpool. You don't know what's gone on with the conversations he's had with his family. You're guessing. Everyone will have a guess, and you can look at it. You don't know what Real Madrid offered him. You don't know what the conversations were with Liverpool. They offered you £20 million in January, and you didn't want it. You could have got money from them, but you said no.
We did get money in the end anyway, so we didn't leave on a free transfer, just so we know.
Yeah, $5 million to go and play in the Club World Cup. But
the thing is,
I just thought it was really harsh from Liverpool fans. I think Liverpool fans are amazing. You're amazing fans. You know, the way you are with your players, the way you support your team, you're incredible. But I can't get my head around the nastiness there was. That was nasty last night, I thought.
Jamie, it's the way he's left, and it's the fact that he's gone to a direct rival for the Champions League as well. They knocked us out 3 times. I think it was in 5 years, 2 of them being Champions League finals. So what he's done is, you said that we got him for nothing, okay? He left basically for nothing. What he's done there is strengthened the direct rival for the Champions League. So he's made Liverpool, when they're at the peak of the powers, weaker. It's as simple as. That's what he's done. But it's all the other things, the underhand stuff, that has completely gone under the radar. I mean, you must. I remember it was the game on Sky when he's cupped his ear. He's doing this to the crowd. What was that about? I don't understand that. Rip your top off. Okay, celebrate. You've just won the league title. Fantastic. You've played your part. That's brilliant. But as soon as you've done that, you said to the Liverpool fans, forget about all that media stuff. They don't know nothing. I'm about to sign a new deal. At that very moment, he was speaking fluent Spanish, which you say he's allowed to. That's fine. But you don't learn Spanish unless you're moving abroad in a couple of weeks.
Well, he is now at Real Madrid, and you're right back last night was Conor Bradley. Was that his best performance of the season?
Yeah, most certainly so. I don't think he's been great this season, as many of the Liverpool players, but he grew into it last night. So each minute that was going by, he seemed to sort of pick his moments. I've been critical of Conor Bradley, that he seems to be a bit more of a moments player. He's trying to put that super tackle in rather than just being the right back at times. Last night was the opposite. He was very much the right back, and then towards the end, he was picking his moments, a big slamming Mbappe and then Vinícius Jr in his pocket at various points. So he done everything correct last night, and it was a wonderful performance, a man of the match performance. But it's difficult to say who got man of the match because Liverpool were excellent all over.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, well, that brings on Alexis Mac Allister, because he's also underperformed this season. Are you now starting to click?
Yes, definitely so. I think last night was a big test because I was going to the ground and I didn't really know what to expect, if I'm honest. You knew Liverpool were very much capable of turning Real Madrid over. They did that last season, and I know we've had a poor run of form, but there were signs against Aston Villa where we were back, but that's only one game. But last night was a real mature performance, and tactically Slot was excellent. He allowed Real Madrid to have the ball in certain areas, and it was very much sideways all the time. They weren't really doing anything with it. We were very direct. We weren't passing out from the back, which was stopping them from winning the ball high up. And I thought Liverpool were back. I think they have clicked a little bit, and I think there's a lot of unity off the ball as well, off the camera. There was just a little high fives in the little moments that probably people won't realise, and that togetherness that has come back. And I think it's been a good real reset for Liverpool.
Do you think Alexander-Arnold is going to struggle to get back in his starting 11?
Yes, on form of Ekitike is the honest answer. But the problem is with modern day football is that they're always picking up injuries, aren't they? So I think as soon as Isaac's fit, someone else will need a rest, or someone else will pick up a little niggle and he'll be back in.
I liked the setup of your team last night. You know, I feel like Arne Slot's been trying to fit everyone into the team. You know, he's just gone gung-ho. Let's put them all out there. But actually, he's took a step back, I think, and he's looked at the team and gone, actually, I'm going to play Florian Wirtz on the left, Ekitike, I need my energy in midfield, bring my full-backs back in. So it felt like a proper Liverpool side again, not one that he's just thrown together.
Yeah,
I don't know if Isak fits in it.
Yeah, I totally agree in that sense. I think that Arne Slot was like, he got loads of toys at Christmas and he tried to play with all of them at the same time rather than just playing his best sides and making sure that these players are playing into a system and also playing for the place. Too many players were just he was trying to make it work, but he hasn't done that now, and he's gone back to basics a little bit, and it's like earn your place and work hard, and the players understand that and they realise that. And I think the players from last season as well appreciate that, because I think there was too much disruption. I think there was a stat, wasn't it, that it's the biggest change in a Premier League title winning team, which really you shouldn't change that much if you don't have to.
Against Man City, huge game at the weekend, away from home as well. Is your only selection debate whether it's Wirtz or Gakpo on the left? Would the other 10 players be in your first 11 for that game?
Yeah, 100%. I think the introduction of Andy Robertson is something that the fans wanted. And sometimes you can feel yourself and think that you want to see something, and then when you see it in reality, it doesn't quite work. Absolutely not. Andy Robertson was fantastic since he's come back into the side. A real leader, really disciplined. And going forward as well, he's offering more than Kirk has. So just across the park, I get reiterated throughout this interview is the fact that I just want Liverpool to have some continuity, and you've got to earn your place to be in the side. I think the question mark is it Wirtz or is it Gakpo? last season he went with the additional midfielder, so I've got a feeling it will be Wirtz that plays, and he was fantastic last night. No one can argue that. You can say that he's had a bit of a false start, but last night he was superb and he ran more than anyone, so he's shown that he really wants to.
Well, it is a mega game at the weekend. Peter, thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Liverpool preparing.
Liverpool secured a crucial 1-0 win over Real Madrid at Anfield, courtesy of Alexis Mac Allister's second-half header from a brilliantly delivered free kick by Dominic Szoboszlai in the 61st minute. The goal not only ended Madrid's flawless start to the group phase, but also snapped Liverpool's own streak of 6 losses in their last 8 games across all competitions. From the outset, Liverpool looked sharper and more committed than in recent weeks. They pressed Madrid's midfield, closed passing lanes, and disrupted combinations early. The visitors were limited to just 2 shots on target and recorded a measly 0.45 expected goals, underlining how effectively Liverpool denied space and tempo to one of Europe's most feared attacks. Defensively, the Reds showed signs of structure returning, with Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, and fullbacks Connor Bradley and Andy Robertson in disciplined rotation. Liverpool coped with high-intensity phases and, crucially, neutralized Madrid's width and overloads. The night also featured the controversial return of Trent Alexander-Arnold to Anfield with Real Madrid, where he was jeered constantly, highlighting the emotional stakes for both clubs. Slot's tactical adjustments cannot be overstated. After a turbulent start to the season, he appears to have prioritized swallowing the opponent's momentum, then hitting on transitions and set pieces. The goal came from exactly that, a dead ball situation expertly exploited. Mac Allister's aerial presence, combined with Szoboszlai's delivery, was a model of strategic detail paying off. Though the scoreboard reads just 1-0, the win feels far more significant. It offers Liverpool a psychological foundation for their campaign, the faith that they can compete with the elite despite their recent wobble. That said, this result is a step, not the finish. Challenges remain: maintaining defensive discipline, generating creativity without overcommitting, and sustaining intensity for 90 minutes plus. If Liverpool build on this display, they may yet salvage their season. Miss these opportunities, and the old concerns could resurface.